Hi again folks, how you all doing? Last year, around about May sometime I think it was, a chap called Toby got in touch with me and offered to donate this Class 9F to me. It had a couple of problems, sorted them out, and it runs absolutely fine. It's a great locomotive, dead pleased with it, so thanks again to Toby for sending it to me. But we're not going to be talking about this, we're going to be talking about that. Along with the 9F, he also sent me this. It's a Jouef model. I think it's a Class 29. It's a bit generic looking though. It's a kind of a, well, don't know, but I think it's meant to be a Class 29. But yeah, it's an old Jouef model. I wasn't sure if this was the Playcraft version. Playcraft imported Jouef models into the UK, but no, I think this is the Jouef one. So it's pretty old. I think this dates back to the 1960s, I think. But it's an HO model, and Toby sent it just, well, I don't know why he sent it. He obviously didn't want it anymore. So I acquired it, had a look at it, stuck it on a shelf, it then went into a box, and I completely forgot all about it till the other day, and I thought, oh, there's that old Jouef thing, let's see if it goes. So I've never had this on the track till today, so I've just put it on. Let's turn on the power and see if it does anything. It's full power. Nope, nothing. Oh, there's a buzz. Yeah, there's life in there. Let's try it in reverse. It's making buzzing noises, so it's alive. It's just not very well. So this is going to be interesting, something completely different. Never looked at a Jouef model before, and I'm expecting something unusual, but we'll get to the bench and see what's what. Okay, so let's get a look at this. General condition is okay. It's a bit dirty and a bit scratched. We've got some melting on the roof there, probably soldering iron, bit of paint on the side, but yeah, I think we'll give it a bit of a clean. Let's have a look on the underside. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see the gearing there. It's extremely crude. It's like something, oh I don't know, like out of an old flour mill or something, you know, like cogs and gears. So I dread to think what's inside. So only the front bogie is conductive. There's plunger type pickups that hit each wheel on the outer axle parts. There's an inner axle which is metal, but that must be insulated somehow. Right, okay, how do we get into this? There's a little screw on the end there, and I think there was supposed to be one on that end, but so I'm assuming that's, yeah, we're loose. Okay, so we'll undo this screw and see what's inside. It's quite exciting, not having a clue what's inside this thing. Well, there we go, look at that. There's another one of those horrible gear things. They look like sort of little miniature medieval torture instruments. I mean, this is never ever going to run quietly with gears like that. Wow. But we'll see. If I can get this running at all, I'll be quite happy. So yeah, we've got plunger type pickups from each wheel on that front bogie onto this, and then there's wires going to brushes, and the motor appears to be held in place with this clip. Quite a small magnet which doesn't appear to be very strong. What state of the wheels, and these wheels are extremely dirty, so I think we'll have to get the rotary tool onto those. And these wheels, which will be the drive wheels, each wheel has got a traction tyre on it. But I think first things first is to try and get this motor out and see if it works. What happens if we get a battery onto this? Ooh, it goes. It's got noises. I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of play in that gear. So basically the pinion on the motor here hits the teeth of this very crude looking gear spins, and then goes through to another pinion in there, which hits this gear, which then turns the wheels. I mean, it works. Well, it did. What's going on? Why is it not going now? There's a tiny little nut holding this gear on. But there is a lot of play, but I don't think there's probably much I can do about that. I think you would want to maybe think about trying to bush that you know, the shaft that goes from this gear through to the pinion there. You would maybe want it to bush it in some way so that it wasn't wiggling about so much, because that's probably what will generate quite a lot of the noise. Anyway, getting carried away with myself there. Let's see if we can get this motor out by removing this clip. So it looks like it'll push down and back. Yep. How on earth? There we are. I think that'll be fun and games to put back in. Right, does this come out now? It does, like that. Right, how do these brushes come out? Because I don't know if you can see, there's little nuts. Do these turn? Or alright, I see there's these connectors slide off. Oh, that's quite clever. Does that come out? Aha, it unscrews, right. And there's the brush. So I can take that out. So I've got very limited access to the commutator here. But I think if I get both brushes out, so they unscrew. Although this one's a bit broken. Plastic thing just falling away there. There's the other brush. The commutator is actually not bad at all. I think all I'm going to do is give this a good scoosh out with the contact cleaner. Wow, look at that. I wonder, does this come out? Yes, it does. There we go, so I can get that out as well. But I'd have to pull that pinion, which I don't want to do, because if I pull that pinion off, it might not go back on again very well. It might end up being loose, so I'm going to leave that well alone. But there is no way I can get in there to clean that commutator. A good dollop of oil in that rear bearing. Then I can put this back. Interesting design. Pop that back on there and then screw this brush in. Should say that the brushes are spring loaded. Get that started. Like so. So although this little plastic piece is broken, it's actually held together once the brush is in place, so we don't need to glue it. Seems to work okay actually. We'll get some, where's my oil? What was on it? There it is. Let's see if we can get some oil in there. What are we going to do here? I really don't think there's an awful lot of point in dismantling this. I mean, it's all very dry. It's not actually that dirty. All the gears are here just need a grease and some oil. Recently I've been experimenting using white grease. Now this is just PTFE white grease. You could use lithium grease as well, and it's quite good stuff, but on its own it's just a bit too thick. But if you mix it with oil, it seems to do a really good job of lubricating gears. So we've got some grease in there, and then we'll get some oil in there, and then once that's had a few spins, it'll become quite a nice lubricant, I think. So I think before we do anything else, we'll remagnetise this, because it's got almost nothing at all. Where's my compass? Let's see which way the poles are. Right, okay, so that's north and that's south. So we'll pop this in, like so, and give it a blast. Better. The Rondord remagnetizer. Let's see if we can get this back in. Now I've no idea what the polarity is, but it'd be simple enough if the motor's the wrong way around. It's simple enough just to swap these wires one way or the other, so not too worried about that. Stick a battery on this. Let's see if we can get this clip back in. We go one side first, slide it in. There we go. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Right, before I connect this up, we'll need to do some work under here. Now, because this is so close to the track, I don't want to over lubricate this too much. So I think we'll put some what to use. Yeah, I think we'll use some molly grease. Wee bit of molly grease and a wee bit of oil, but too much and it'll go onto the track. So there we go, nice clean wheels. I think the other thing we should really think about doing is a little bit of lubrication. I'm just going to, not that one, different oil. And that really is probably that. Let's just connect this up. Right, battery on the wheels, does it go? Yes, it does, but not from there. Nothing from those front wheels. Right, so if you watch my last video on using a multimeter, here's a real world example. So what I want to check is, from that wheel, am I getting any connection? No. Right, so that one's okay. Am I just hitting dirt there or something? Why is that not? Yeah. It is just dirt. Right, I wonder if that's just the problem. Let's get my other glasses on. I don't think this bogie is very easily removable. It's got a circlip, tiny little circlip, which I really don't want to undo. It seems to have quite a complex pickup arrangement in there. So there seems to be pickups, those little plunger pickups, and then these contacts here press down on two contacts. I wonder if I can get away with just a bit of a Yes, just a bit dirt. Ah, there you go. I think what's happening is the gears are so crude. I think it's got a bit of a tendency to lock up. So I've just swapped the wires over there because it was running the wrong way round. But it won't go. Just a wee bit of persuasion. See, that does actually appear to be the motor that's stopped. I think what I'm going to do is take this motor out again and give it a good run. Right. Yeah, that seems to be okay. So it's maybe just a bit of contact cleaner still in there, or some dirt or something. Just it didn't like going off on its own accord. You know, it's a very, very crude and simple way of holding a motor in place, but actually it's quite effective. There's just a couple of pegs on the mount that's on to hold it in position, and then it's clamped in place with that little clip. But it works. Right, okay, will this now go without a push? Rattle, rattle, rattle. I think we have success. Right, okay, I think we'll put that aside and we'll give this a bit of a clean. So just some soapy water and a cotton bud. Never ever use any kind of solvent on your locomotive bodies. Never forget my dad using methylated spirits on my intercity coaches. Oh God, I was upset. Probably doesn't make an awful lot of difference, but it just feels cleaner now. It just felt kind of grubby, you know, just years and years and years of being held. However, feels okay now. As ever, don't over tighten it. And there we go. Let's go and stick this on the layout and see what kind of horrible noise it makes. Okay, turn on the power. It's not as loud as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. Let's give it full power. What the hell is this thing? As well as the locomotive, Toby gave me these Jouef coaches as well. So maybe this was part of a set or something, I don't know. So I wonder how long it's been since this locomotive pulled these coaches. So there we are, that's this old Jouef Class 29 running again. It's very noisy, but nowhere near as noisy as I was expecting it to be. You know, those gears, I really expected this thing to make a real racket, but it's not too bad. It's not the smoothest runner in the world, probably needs a bit more running in, but at least it is, you know, starting without a push. The coaches need a bit of an oil as well. You could probably hear the wheels squeaking going round there. But thanks very much again to Toby for sending me this and the 9F. It was certainly fun working on this. So yeah, catch you later guys.